Now that's how you win best trick at a comp. Huge shout out to Nolan for sharing that in my subreddit. What up, it's Brandon here. Welcome back to Blader News, your #1 rollerblading news source. Once again brought to you by Skids Grind Plates, the only way to grind on your shoes since soap shoes don't exist anymore. We have blessed the game with a jam-packed episode, so as always, let's just roll into it with some industry news. And the first thing we're going to talk about today is Salomon. Salomon sent a package to a bunch of rollerbladers. This includes Joe Atkinson, Ricardo Lino, Kyle Soler, and a bunch more. Now before I get your hopes up too high, they didn't send them new skates, they just sent them some of their new, quite expensive, but sick shoes. I'm unsure what this means for rollerblading and Salomon making rollerblades, but it's cool to see these dudes that have been repping Salomon so hard, like Joe Atkinson, get something in return. It is kind of interesting that they are reaching out to rollerbladers right now. There's a small chance that maybe that is a link to something rollerblade related, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. In other news, our sport has been seen everywhere recently. This includes from celebrity skating like Lana Del Rey and Margot Robbie. There's been ads featuring rollerblading from Prada and Subaru. The word blader was used in Jeopardy the other night. And the coolest one of all, the Danny Bear 909 Pro Skate, was on the Vogue website as a top pick for a unique Mother's Day gift, which is a really unique take there. It's something I would never thought I'd see happen in my life. An aggressive skate as a Mother's Day pick on Vogue. I think all these situations are just proof of how good blading is doing right now. It is on the rise, and let's keep it going like that. The future is so exciting. And speaking of exciting things, Roll with Rory is doing 1,000 soles in one day on May 5th, and he's doing this in the hopes to donate 100 pairs of skates through the Chris Edwards Foundation to kids that want and need skates. Rory attempting the 1,000 soles is going to be live streamed on his channel, and man, I hope I'm free to watch that because I think it's going to be quite a hard goal to meet. I was trying to do the math of how many soles per minute you're going to need to do. It's quite high. I'll do the math and put it up here maybe, but yeah, it should be cool. It's a really cool cause. Chris Edwards has been doing a bunch of cool stuff for kids in rollerblading, so this is a really good collab. And yeah, 100 skates for kids, you can't complain about that. But anyway, that's it for industry news. I'm going to have Dorian send us in to product news, which is everyone's favorite part of the show, with his first ever Soul 360. Yes! And the first product I'm going to talk about today is from one of my patrons, Sonic Sports. And it is this stand right here, the Sonic Sports skate stand. Now this thing is really good. It packs away flat, meaning it doesn't take up much space in your house, and you can bring it around with you. But then it really easily assembles together and becomes a perfect stand for your skates while you're changing your bearings, cleaning your wheels, swapping out frames. It's really good and I definitely recommend it. I'll link to that in the description. And then we had a teaser posted for some new crazy skates that are on par with the Them 909s and the Bobby Spazov skate. And this is a collab skate between them and Braindead. And just look at this color scheme here. It was actually leaked over on Them's live stream at one point. And shout out to Zakwa for sending me the screenshot. He saved me here. He got me the best inside scoop ever. But damn, these skates look so sick, and I can't wait to see the released product photos so we can get a really good look at them. Speaking of skates, Derek Henderson got a second pro skate. And this thing looks sick. One of the unique parts of it is it has hexagon eyelids, which is a different take there. You haven't seen that done before. Different eyelids on a pro skate. I'm really glad to see Razors backing one of their pros. And Derek definitely deserves it, especially with the dope promo edit he put together in such a short amount of time. Congrats, Derek. And yes, somehow we're still talking about skates, with Powerside releasing some new colors for their next boot. The first one being this cool gray and lavender skate, which is targeted at women, but I think it's dope. So then they got this nice black and white colorway, playing it safe, and then a black with red highlight colorway, which is also just absolutely dope. Moving on from skates though, we got a cool new aluminium sole kit from Justin Thursday, which looks very impressive and interesting. I would love to know how this skates. An aluminum sole plate must really add some responsiveness to your skate. It still has some plastic sliders, so you're not going to be grinding on aluminum, but it's going to be good nonetheless, I think. Speaking of aluminum, we got some aluminum frames, and it's the Kaiser Element 2, but I think it's a new release of it. I'm not too sure about this, but it's just kind of like a cleaned down version of the original Kaiser Element 2. And then I called it in the last episode of Blader News, but Conjure dropped the new wheel, and it was a pro wheel for Rob Kellett, who absolutely deserves that wheel, and I was so hyped to see that. And just like I said, they're already sold out, but they might be in your local skate shop right now, so keep an eye out, check it out, don't miss out. Conjure makes absolutely great wheels. I have never broken one. I can personally attest that they are great. One of the cool things about his wheel here is the box it comes with actually has a sticker on the packaging that you might not notice if you didn't look close enough. So don't throw that box out. And for the final piece of product news, I'm still not too sure that this is a new product, but Razors Australia posted the Razors Metro backpack, which is supposed to have a new skate strap and is supposed to be designed for the instant frame change system, meaning it has room for skates and a spare sole plate frame setup. The new skate holder is supposed to hold your skates a bit tighter than the old ones as well. And from my experience with the Humble backpack, I remember my skates falling out all the time. So yeah, I'm sure it's good. We have some breaking product news, and by breaking product news, I mean news that's so old that when I saw it on my list, I thought I had already talked about it and didn't think to film me talking about it. I'm coming to you live from my live streaming setup because I'd already packed up the whole set, so this is the best we got. But anyway, we got some new frames from Ground Control, and they are the 4 flat, or the 4 FLT. It's supposed to be the strength of a mega frame, but the lightness of a featherlight frame. They come in 2 colorways. There's a black and a white. You can change the H-block, so you can have the cool mix matchy one like they have here. I'd be interested to see how long this H-block holds up to skating and whether replacing it is actually viable, but it kind of seems like it is with that placement they have there. And that's it for product news. And I just want to remind you, if you want to support me and this show, I do have some shirts over at my clothing store, Laced NZ, including this shirt right here, the Icons tee. Buying anything from the shop really helps me out, and you get something cool in return. I'm personally shipping everything out, and yeah, it'll help me out a lot. So check it out if you have the time. But anyway, let's move on to my favorite part of the show, media you should check out. Before we get into it, I just have another reminder that the only way to get your edits, your artwork, or anything blading you see onto this show is to post it onto the Blader News subreddit. Links to join will be in the description. Once a month, I'm going to pick a random member who posts and comments on there and send them a lace package. I just announced the winner for this month live a few hours ago, so shout out to Killbot. Check your DMs. I'll be sending you a package as soon as I can. And first up, we got Maddie doing some power blading. Now, Maddie is a young gun doing some power blading, which is something you don't see often. Not only in this little montage I'm going to link you to here, but his most recent post, he's doing like negative grinds on a power blading setup, which is really impressive. Aside from that though, this montage here is absolutely dope, and I highly recommend checking it out. It'll get you pumped for your next skate. And then if you aren't sick of hearing me talk yet, I was featured on the Blading Physio's Health Talk podcasty show, where I talked about my injury with my feet and just everything I'm doing in general. It was a really good time. I had a lot of fun. And Jonas has a really good channel. I definitely recommend checking the whole thing out, especially if you want to get abs like Danny Bear. He's got a video all about it. You should check it out. And then if you're looking for a video that has great vibes, it's going to remind you why we all love rollerblading. We have this nice, chill skate down a trail. You're just having a really good time. I really enjoyed this video. It definitely brightened my day up and reminded me how cool rollerblading is and how much fun it is. Definitely check this one out. And then moving away from being chilled out to just having your mind absolutely blown, Swen posted a new carbon-free Fallout video, which is absolutely ridiculous. This dude keeps up with Eugen. I can't comprehend the fact that this dude is going out and skating with Eugen, and he's not like, he's keeping up with Eugen, doing just ridiculously good tricks. And like, I don't know, this video is really, really good. Like, I can't stress that enough. You need to go watch it. It's got a ton of really cool negatives and just stuff that shouldn't be possible, and a really sick soundtrack. And then we got this piece from Plastic Mag that really feels like street skating. I tell you, like, this one is filled with a ton of bangers, just like Swen's. A little bit less negatives, but absolutely insane nonetheless. I know pretty much all I do is complain about how high rails are here around me locally, but seeing the dude here just skate these like waist high rails like they're like knee high rails, it gives me hope that maybe one day I can actually skate some more spots here locally. Definitely check this one out, it's really good. And then finally, we have my top pick for the fortnight for sure, maybe even for the month, maybe even the year. I really, really like this one. It's Time by Rob Kellett. I really like the way that Rob makes his edits. It's very unique compared to any other edit out there. He likes to tie in a little bit of storytelling to his edits, but not too much to the point where it is like a film. It's like the perfect balance. And this video really lives up to all the expectations. It is really good. I really enjoyed it. It has some super good skating in there. It's got technical stuff. It's got big tricks. I was hooked the whole way through. Definitely watch this one. It is my top pick. Before you go out for your next skate, watch every single video I just talked about in that order, and you'll be so pumped, trust me. And that's it for Blader News this fortnight. If you wanted to help me out, I've been trialing going through the Blader News submissions live here on this channel. I would love to see you there, so if you want to come join me, watch some edits, and help me choose what to put in the show, then ring that bell next to the subscribe button, and I'll see you there. I'm going to try go live the day before I post Blader News, so that should be a Sunday morning in America. But if you can't make that, a subscribe helps just as much. And I want to give a huge thank you to my Blader News correspondents, James, Matt, Sweet Moves, and Sonic Sports, as well as the rest of my patrons and members. I really couldn't do this without them. And of course, you for watching, especially if you've made it through this outro. And today we're going to be sent off by Zakwa doing a soul that is way too hard considering he's only been skating for about a year now. Check it out.